In the top stories, Italian ambassador to meet with government officials in St. Kitts and Nevis, blood pressure kiosk installed at supermarket in Antigua and Barbuda, and researchers look into long COVID symptoms. Hello and welcome to the ZIZ Midday newscast. Today is Thursday, the 19th of May, 2022. I'm Jason Davis. Nationally, following his presentation of credentials to the Governor General earlier this week, the newly accredited ambassador of Italy to St. Kitts and Nevis, His Excellency Fabrizio Nicoletti, is scheduled to meet with various government officials here. According to information out of government headquarters, Ambassador Nicoletti is scheduled to pay courtesy calls on Prime Minister Dr. the Honorable Timothy Harris and Premier of Nevis, the Honorable Mark Brantley. St. Kitts and Nevis has enjoyed a long-standing diplomatic friendship with Italy, reiterated most recently by the participation of the Honorable Mark Brantley in the 10th edition Italy, Latin America and Caribbean Conference of October 2021 in Rome. The conference examined Italy's G20 presidency and its interactions with the region. St. Kitts and Nevis also enjoys visa-free access to Italy through the Schengen Agreement, scholarships and training, donation of sport equipment, climate change grants, and other technical assistance from Italy. Registration for stalls at the Barrio Community Market is now open. The community market will officially launch on Thursday, the 2nd of June. Registration forms are now available at the Ministry of Agriculture, 3rd floor government headquarters on Church Street, according to an agriculture release. The ministry is encouraging vendors who provide prepared food, fruits and vegetables, as well as fish, meat or agro-processed goods to register before the launch, which will take place in the form of an agri-night market. All interested vendors are invited to register early as spaces are limited. The deadline is Friday, the 27th of May. Interested persons are asked to contact 467-1016 for more information. In other news, national hero and former Prime Minister of St. Kitts and Nevis, the Right Excellent and Right Honorable Sir Kennedy Simmons, has expressed thanks to the staff of the JNF General Hospital for their care during his recent brief hospitalization. A statement issued on Wednesday said he's now at home after a minor surgical procedure. The statement said, quote, "Sir Kennedy is now convalescing well at home and giving thanks to Almighty God for his continuing recovery. He wishes to thank the surgeon, Dr. Cameron Wilkinson, and Dr. Davine Wilkin, the anesthesiologist, members of the theater staff, and all other members of the medical, nursing, technical, and domestic staff of the Joseph and France General Hospital for their care during his successful surgery and brief hospitalization last week." End quote. The statement said Sir Kennedy said he will always remember the theater staff for the extra special attention and kind courtesies. Moving now to news on the regional scene. In Antigua and Barbuda, a new blood pressure kiosk at Perry Bay Supermarket was unveiled fittingly on World Hypertension Day on Tuesday. It's the result of a partnership between the Ministry of Health, Wellness and the Environment and the Pan American Health Organization. ABS's Ragib Aparicio reports.
Shoppers can now get their blood pressure checked while shopping at the Perry Bay Supermarket. This blood pressure kiosk not only checks your blood pressure, but gives key facts on how to control it. Making this service so accessible is crucial since hypertension is identified as the main risk factor for developing cardiovascular disease. Internal medicine specialist Dr. Camaria De Castro explained the key steps to reducing your risk of hypertension starts with choosing a balanced diet.
Limiting alcohol consumption. Avoid smoking. Engaging in regular physical aerobic activity such as brisk walking, jogging, cycling, and swimming at least 3 days per week. You must also know your numbers. Check your blood pressure each time you visit a healthcare facility.
The Pan American Health Organization's country program specialist Dr. Gemma Cherry says cardiovascular disease is the main cause of death in the Americas and gives an overview of hypertension.
Hypertension is the most important associated modifiable risk factor, accounting for 50% of cardiovascular deaths. Unfortunately, in the Americas, over a quarter of adult women and 4 in 10 adult men have hypertension and the diagnosis, treatment, and control are suboptimal.
Perry Bay Supermarket manager Vaughn Challenger expressed his optimism and excitement with the installation of the blood pressure kiosk at the location. Minister for Health, Wellness and the Environment, the Honorable Sir Malwin Joseph, says the focus on non-communicable diseases is vital since they account for 75% of deaths in the country.
Today, as I stand here at Perry Bay, it has gone up to 75%. So every time you see some activities, whether it's in the villages or it is the St. John Cemetery, 75 of the people who we bury.
The minister also recalled when he was diagnosed with hypertension at a younger age, but has since followed the advice of his doctor and has remained in good health. This report was filed by Kim Emmanuel Baird.
In Guyana, President Ali's commitment to ensure the sustainable development of the local hemp industry by mid-year was brought one step closer to the realization on Tuesday with the presentation of the Industrial Hemp Bill in the National Assembly. Antonio Day has the details.
In presenting the bill, Agriculture Minister Zulfikar Mustafa disclosed that the eventual passage of the bill will provide for the cultivation and manufacturing of industrial hemp and hemp-related products once research is conducted.
A bill included an act to provide for the cultivating and manufacturing of industrial hemp and hemp-related products.
The bill also proposes the establishment of the Guyana Industrial Hemp Regulatory Authority, which will be the watchdog of the hemp industry. The regulatory authority is mandated to investigate applications for licenses, issue, suspend, and revoke licenses, and provide quotas for cultivation. This body is expected to work with the Customs Anti-Narcotic Unit to monitor hemp production, among others. According to the bill, board members from the subject authority who fail to disclose associated interests in matters being discussed concerning the words of the authority will pay a fine of 200,000 Guyana dollars. Additionally, no one will be permitted to cultivate and participate in hemp-related activities without a license, and those who do such without being granted a license will be fined 500,000 Guyana dollars and be imprisoned for 1 year. Hemp is often confused with marijuana because it's a member of the cannabis family, but it has a significantly lower THC levels. THC, or tetrahydrocannabinol, is a psychoactive ingredient in marijuana that gives users the high feeling. The bill also proposes fines of 200,000 for board members who fail to disclose associated interests in matters being discussed and also for disclosing information that relates to words of the authority. The bill provides for 3 types of licenses, including a cultivation license that authorizes all activities relating to the cultivation of industrial hemp, including the possession, planting, propagating, harvesting, transporting, and distribution, and a manufacturing license, which authorizes all activities related to the manufacturing of industrial distribution of the substance. The third category of persons that can be granted a license are those involved in the conduct of research on industrial hemp. President Irfan Ali in March expressed optimism that the Guyana can develop a viable hemp industry. Vice President Dr. Bar Jagdeo also announced recently the licenses will be issued to farmers to cultivate hemp in Regions 6 and 10 following the passage of the legislation. This is Antonio Day reporting for HEP 19 News.
Internationally, U.S. doctors say about 1 in 10 COVID-19 patients may end up developing long COVID.